The title of this audio is Truth and the Awareness Model. So how did you like the last audio that I did on what is awareness, a return to paradise? How did you enjoy, or what did it bring up for you, the last audio? I really encourage you to pace yourself when listening to these audios and reading the blog, the accompanying blog, as each audio and each blog post builds onto the next. It's like a guidebook, but it's a living expression of a guidebook in order for you to deconstruct consciousness. Pioneering work, never been done before, so you'll have to monitor yourself because I am working in energy. Although as awareness, I understand energy and the use and misuse of energy, and we'll be talking more about that. But as awareness, in constructing this awareness model, we are engaged in a process of manipulating our reality in order for us to not just survive, but thrive. And so this is a living expression, a manual in order to guide you, which will turn into a book and courses and all kinds of good stuff. So engage yourself in this experiment, and please let me know how it is working for you. So remember, in this game that we're immersed in, sadly enough, there are no winners. There's only a few that know the rules of this game, and everyone else is not even aware that they are immersed in a game or someone else's dream, someone else's narrative, the power control force's narrative, the universal architect's narrative, those who play God. And so the dilemma that we find ourselves in is that, for some of us, those who are tuning in here, and if you're like myself, I understand the game that I'm immersed in. It no longer interests me, and I still need to be here. And what I have come to understand as awareness is that the opportunity for me while I'm still here is for me to manipulate the reality that I am, or the artificial reality that I'm immersed in, and create something while I'm still here, of my own choosing, of my own making. Because the reality, or the artificial reality that's being spoon-fed to me, really has no interest for me anymore. And that's the biggest nightmare for the power control force, those that presume to run this world, is that we will disengage and we will no longer find value within the system. And yet most of humanity love their servitude, and they give it value. They love their objects, their trinkets, their materialism, so much so that they will do anything for it, simply because they do not know who and what they are. And so here we are, manipulating this artificial reality, deconstructing this consciousness system. Again, pioneering work, never been done before. It's an experiment. There's nothing else to do. So let's engage the experiment. And so throughout this model, you will come to know those 5 most important questions that we continuously ask. And you may be asking yourself, why is it that we ask these questions? Who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose for being here? And where am I going? The reason we ask those questions is because it's factored into the narrative, the game. And that is that this fall into consciousness creates an amnesia. And that's why we We ask those questions. Who am I? You are awareness. Where do I come from? The all, nothing. You are nothing. You come from your paradise state. What is your purpose for being here? Honestly, the power control force have factored in that your purpose for being here is to share your gifts and talents, but really, it's to serve them. Once you come to know self as awareness, you do have innate gifts and talents that you can acquire, come to know within yourself. And those gifts and talents will help you to manipulate your reality and create a reality of your own choosing. However, that, again, is factored into the program of this system. So know that, or this game. So the power control force know this. They don't want you to acquire any gifts and talents, innate gifts and talents. They want you to serve them. They want you to love your servitude. They want you to love your slavery. That is the truth. Where am I going? Well, they've told you where you're going. They're creating a dystopia and a utopia for themselves. Well, why would they do that? Well, they would do that because, again, it's their game, it's their narrative, it's their story. They have the power to do that. And so until enough of humanity wakes up to knowing itself as awareness, they'll continue to play their game. They're master con artists, and they know how to manipulate reality for their own choosing and making. It's their system, remember? And they use all their spells and their rituals and this energy, this prana, this chi, in order to keep you in their consciousness system under hypnosis, which creates amnesia, it has the amnesia effect, and that's why we ask these questions. Who am I? What am I doing here? Where do I come from? What is my purpose for being here? Where am I going? Imagine that. We're still asking those questions. It's because of the amnesia effect of this consciousness system that we are immersed in. The universe, the solar system, and the physical world that we live in. This consciousness system is a consciousness program. It's a prison system. So truth and the awareness model. The truth through absolute and truth, though absolute and uniformly significant to everyone, must be discovered by each individual within the context of the individual's experience. No one approach to that discovery is right for everyone, which is why I share this with you in terms of distinguishing truth in the awareness model. Truth does not exist within culture, language, symbols, metaphors, and concepts of that individual, as our culture is manufactured. Therefore, truth is distorted. It is the intent of the awareness model to expose the lie of this consciousness system, this artificial reality, these fake religions, these fake texts, these fake everything, so that truth can reveal itself as awareness, which is the ultimate reality. Truth is truth, but communicating truth to another is a difficult understanding, fraught with misunderstandings of meaning and interpretation. Yes, because you have your own belief system. So some of the things that I say here and some of my sharing will not resonate with you. Does it mean that it's not true? No. It just means that you have a different belief system, and what I'm sharing may be coming up against your own belief systems that you are entrenched in. So just be aware of that. That's why I say you have to use discretion when you journey with me through this experiment. Again, it's pioneering work. It's going to bring up all your stuff. So what I encourage you to do is take your time and stick it out and see what happens for you. Miracles can possibly happen here, or what were perceived as miracles, but it will be quite revealing, I'm sure. Truth, like wisdom, is not something you can teach or learn from a book. It must be comprehended by individuals within the context of their experience. In our illusory physical world life experience, each of us comes to an understanding of reality through our interpretation of our physical and mental experience as an objective observer of how we currently experience our physical world. But the key here is to become an objective observer as awareness, not the I, the ego, personality that is you. That's the difference. You are to become the objective observer of your physical life experience as awareness, so that you become detached from anything considered real on this physical world stage, which happens when we only identify with the personality aspect of who and what we are through the I and my house, my children, my possessions, my trinkets, my materialism, my car. When you identify as the ego with materialism, then you are identifying your materialism as awareness, and the ego is identifying awareness as private property. And this is what we have to savor. We have to sever this schism. The experience of others can best provide a useful model, a framework for understanding, a perspective that enables us to comprehend and interpret our experience in a way that makes good, practical sense. The best teachers, all they can do is offer a consistent and coherent understanding of reality that helps individuals find the larger perspective required to discover truth for themselves. The awareness model is rich in innovative knowledge, and through my own personal experience, that can provide a productive understanding of the artificial consciousness system you have been born into. As you grow into your experience as awareness, which is the ultimate reality. If the awareness model communicates something of significance for you and resonates with your own unique knowing, then this particular expression of reality may suit you. However, if it leaves you untouched, perhaps some other form of reality will speak to you more effectively, and then those people will weed themselves out anyway. The form your understanding takes is not as significant as it is the result of your experience that really counts. Experiencing awareness is a subjective experience. So remember that. You cannot learn about awareness objectively, that is, through reading books or reading about awareness. It doesn't happen that way. Any expression of reality that nudges your understanding in the direction of learning, growing, and receiving, or evolving into experiencing self as awareness, then it is the right one for you. The awareness model is not the only useful expression that truth can take. Again, it is a unique model of reality that speaks through language while integrating and shifting your subjective, personal, and holistic perception as awareness, while maintaining a grounded, objective worldview of your artificial, physical world life experience, thus allowing you to create an alternate reality of your own choosing and creation despite the intensification of chaos going on around you. Yes, and so pain and suffering is not a part of awareness. Pain and suffering are simply the catalyst that will, for some, and for many really, get them on this path of coming to know self as awareness. And so as the chaos intensifies, as things become unbearable for many, my hope is that many will find this model helpful in making sense, and not only making sense, but allowing people to come to know self as awareness and be able to use this model as a guide. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to subscribe to this YouTube channel, I encourage you to do so. And if you'd like to follow the blog, because I'll be posting there more regularly than I will be posting on YouTube, I encourage you to follow the blog as well and pass it on to your friends. Thank you so much for tuning in.